A contract of sale subject to building and pest case study. Meet Mark and Mary. Mark and Mary sign a contract of sale to sell their home for a purchase price of $900,000. The purchaser elects to make the contract subject to obtaining a satisfactory building and pest report. The real estate agent completes the particulars of sale and sends a contract to Trish. Trish reviews the contract and notes that the purchaser has elected to make the contract subject to them obtaining a satisfactory building and pest report. Trish diarizes the due date and awaits to hear from the purchaser's conveyancer. The purchaser's conveyancer contacts Trish the day before the building and pest report is due and advises that the purchaser has obtained an unsatisfactory building and pest report and that the report notes a major structural building defect. The purchaser requests a reduction in the purchase price in the amount of $30,000. Mark and Mary call Trish in a panic and tell Trish that the real estate agent advised that if they do not reduce the purchase price, they risk losing the sale. Trish, with her expertise in property law, reviewed the building and pest report to check what major structural building defect has been listed in the report and who the inspector was that undertook the report. After review, Trish noted that the inspector did not provide a building practitioner registration number. Trish conducted a search of the inspector to check whether or not they are a registered building practitioner. The search yielded that the inspector was in fact not a registered building inspector. Trish wrote a letter to the purchaser's conveyancer stating that the building and pest report was invalid as it did not comply with the contract, which states that the purchaser must obtain a written report from a registered building practitioner. The purchaser's conveyancer requested that the vendor grant an extension of time so that the purchaser can obtain another building and pest report conducted by a registered building practitioner. Trish advised Mark and Mary that in accordance with the general conditions of the contract, they are not obligated to grant an extension of time for the purchaser to obtain a second building and pest report, and that even if the report was valid, the only recourse the purchaser had was to end the contract, not ask for a reduction in purchase price. This is advice the purchaser should have received from their conveyancer. Mark and Mary listened to Trish's advice and did not grant the purchaser the extension or the reduction in purchase price. Mark and Mary did not lose a sale, and the contract proceeded unconditionally, and the full purchase price in the amount of $900,000 was paid at settlement. This case study shows the importance of ensuring you have engaged a lawyer, solicitor to act in your conveyancing matter so that you can ensure you receive the appropriate legal advice when a legal issue arises, ensuring you comply with the contract and your obligations, and knowing your rights under a contract of sale. Wollerman Shacklock Lawyers has extensive experience in handling conveyancing matters and has one of very few accredited property law specialists in Victoria leading the team. If you wish to have our firm assist with your sale or purchase, please contact our office.